Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's Doctor Who review is none other than Doctor Who and the Silurians. So, what is the Silurians about? Well, there was a species that came before man in the history of the world. And essentially, this species is known as Homo reptilia, a reptile-like species who believed the Earth to be destroyed back at the very beginning. And it turns out that they had been hibernating in their caves for a matter of centuries before they soon discovered that the world that they believed to be gone and perished had survived. And in fact, it turned out that the disaster was not a disaster at all, but seemed to be a takeover, at least in their eyes. This whole episode starts off when a group of cave explorers goes down into a cave and finds themselves unwittingly discovering history of prehistoric nature. Upon discovering this history, they soon learn that the reptiles that live beneath the surface aren't quite happy with some scientific experiments that have been going on down in the caves, and this has been meddling with their hibernation sleep and causing many of the Silurians to sadly perish. As retaliation, the Silurians decide to attack the guys in the tunnel, and only very few manage to get out. After going down to the caves and finding the traumatized survivors, they begin to ask into the inquiry of what's going on. After finding out that they believe that lizard men live in the caves, the Unified Intelligence Task Force is then brought in to essentially investigate the going-ons. Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. Brigadier brings the Doctor along as his scientific advisor in hopes that maybe he might find some answers to exactly what's been going on in the caves, and to find out whether the lizard men really do exist. What the Doctor finds absolutely horrifies him, as he soon learns that the Silurians do live beneath the surface. But what horrifies him is not the discovery of them, but the way that the humans don't realise what they've done. After being told that the drill that they are using is causing a mass attack on the hibernation unit, the human race seem reluctant to help the situation and turn off their drills. This causes the Silurians to fight back once again, this time using a plague which almost wipes out the whole entire human race, all down to one politician's stupidity. Meanwhile, elsewhere, it turns out that a man who has been giving the Silurians the benefit of the doubt in hopes that he will secure some of their technology seems to have fallen into the clutches of the Silurian who he has been letting go to his house. As this Silurian is hunted down, it turns out that he ends up accidentally killing a farmer in the countryside. This, of course, makes the relationship between the Unified Intelligence Task Force and the rest of the world and the Silurians very tetchy, and makes it harder for the Doctor to come down to an agreement. Eventually, it turns out that the UN and everyone else decides war upon the Silurians. The Brigadier uses nukes to pretty much seal the tomb in, closing the Silurians away forever. However, it turns out that a rogue Silurian who had been living down in the chamber had already got back into his hibernation unit just in time to save himself from the cataclysm. But as far as the Doctor and Liz Shaw are concerned, it seems that the Brigadier has just committed genocide on a completely intelligent life form that could have maybe had the opportunity to live alongside the human race. So, Doctor Who and the Silurians. What did I think of this story? I absolutely love this story. It's one of my favourite Silurian stories. A little bit more, even to say, than Hungry Earth. I really love the way that the Silurians are introduced, and I kind of like the scare factor of them using the dinosaur to scare people away from the caves. It definitely makes for an interesting, thrilling story, and is a story that you can kind of have compassion with the Silurians, even if they are kind of divided on whether they want to live on the Earth with the human race. You can't blame them because they've lived underground for so long, and they're the ones who have been attacked, not the other way around. They haven't immediately gone to attack people on the surface. People have just discovered them in the caves by accident. And for that reason, I give Doctor Who and the Silurians a solid 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, and have an incredible day. /night.